Happy birthday and welcome to another Mickey's Roundtable adventure. Whose birthday was I celebrating this time? Well, Walt Disney's, of course. Last week, December 5th, 2023, was Walt's 122nd birthday. So to celebrate, I headed over to Magic Kingdom here at Walt Disney World. Took the Keys to the Kingdom tour before heading on over to EPCOT to check out the new World Celebration area. Just opened up. The new Dreamer's Point and Walt statue there, as well as the new fireworks show, Luminous. You're not going to want to miss this episode.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
You wish upon a star.
It's supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Who's the leader of the front that's made for you and me? M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U-S-E.
This was the third Disney tour, Disney theme park tour that I've done. About 5-6 years ago, I did the Walking in Walt's Disneyland Footsteps tour out in California at Disneyland. 3-4 years ago, when they were still offering it, I did the Magic Behind Our Steam Trains tour. And then just last week, then I did the Keys to the Kingdom tour. I arrived bright and early. My tour started at about 8:30 or so I took the ferry across, headed into Magic Kingdom. Now, I had made up a I'm celebrating Walt's birthday button, but I forgot it at home, so I stopped by City Hall and Guest Relations and had them make me out a new one, and the cast member there, her handwriting was much better than mine, so I'm glad I did that. When you head into the Town Square Theater, on the left-hand side where the check-in area, waiting area for Tony's Town Square Restaurant is, that's where you'll check in. They'll give you your button, and then you just hang out and wait a little bit. There is a sign, very explicit, and then they tell you as well, no photography, no video at all. So since I don't have video of the actual tour, I'm going to tell you, kind of give you a rough idea of where I went and kind of what they covered. I don't want to do any specifics or spoilers or anything. I put together on my map here where we went, and then whatever video that I show while I'm talking about the tour, I didn't take on the actual tour. Kind of give you, the audience, kind of an idea. Okay, this is where they went. Nothing backstage, of course. They actually make you take an oath. I will not reveal any secrets from backstage. It's called the Keys to the Kingdom for a reason. The Disney company has 5 key principles that drives how they want to do business. There's safety. Well, that's an important one. Show. There's efficiency. There's courtesy. That one's important. You got to be nice to people. And then the most recent key, inclusion. So we started at the Town Square Theater. They give their introduction and do the whole thing. And you make your way up Main Street. And then off on this, what's called Center Street. They describe some of the windows along Main Street, the whole idea of Main Street, and how everything's a show. Anyway, from there we headed on up into the hub, the Central Plaza as it's officially called, and then into Adventureland. From the Central Hub, you can kind of see each one of the other lands. There's visuals that draw you in. Adventureland, you can't really see. It's kind of trees. Because it's an adventure, you're not supposed to know what's there. But I know what's there. The Jungle Cruise, that's the first attraction that we went on. I think one of only 2 that we went on. It's not the typical Jungle Cruise because the tour guide themselves actually will give history about the Jungle Cruise and that attraction and that Adventureland and whatnot as part of the tour rather than your typical Jungle Cruise shtick. Welcome aboard the world famous Jungle Cruise. We're world famous for being famous around the world. From there, then we headed over by Pirates of the Caribbean. Where am I on my map? Oh, there we are. Head over by Pirates of the Caribbean. Again, more and more history. They'll highlight how different keys fit into different things that you're seeing and the different stories that they're telling. From there, then, we headed backstage. That's where we took our oath. You head on backstage, and it was cool. I won't say exactly where you get to go, although I did solve the mystery of where's all the benches. You come out next to where Pirates of the Caribbean is, where we were before. They feed you lunch. So when you went in for your lunch, you got your food, but you also got a pin. Every time you do a Disney tour, they'll give you a pin. I mean, there's this pin that you wear during the tour, but then like a pin collector type pin. These are my pins from the 3 tours that I've done. The best one is the first one here, the Walking in Walt Disneyland Footsteps Tour. Open it up, it's like a little book with a dedication plaque for Disneyland. Least favorite pin, that is the Magic Behind the Steam Trains Tour with Mickey driving a train, and it's kind of, okay. Then for Keys to the Kingdom, it's a key with a Mickey on the end, and from there we headed through Frontierland into Liberty Square. Little history about the Liberty Tree and everything that's in that area. Very detailed, a lot of really cool stuff and Easter eggs. And then into the Haunted Mansion. Then it was into Fantasyland. We had a bathroom break. There was one earlier as well. And then backstage again. This time it wasn't just backstage. It was downstairs in the utilidors, the tunnels. Anyway, we headed through the utilidors. Can't have any footage of that before or after or during. There aren't tunnels, but anyway. Headed all the way down Main Street. There's the... I was going to tell you what we talked about down there. I'm not doing that. Just take the tour. Anyway, then you pop back up backstage again and kind of wrap up the tour over by Tony's Town Square restaurant again. Very cool. It was about a 5-hour tour, something like that. Anyway, this... I think was my favorite tour so far. I learned more about things, you know, because I'm pretty knowledgeable about Magic Kingdom and the history and things, but there were tidbits here and there that was like, oh, I did not know that. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Whatnot. So from there then, it was Walt's birthday. I was celebrating. I decided, hey, I'm going to head over to EPCOT. A friend was waiting for me over there, and we decided to check out Dreamer's Point and the new Walt statue. Very cool. Before it opened, I was riding the monorail, overheard a guest talking about the statue, and they didn't like the idea that, one, it didn't match some of the artwork that they put out. You know, that's never happened before where Disney released artwork of something and then it ended up being different than the final product. But they didn't like that the statue as it is was different in that you can actually sit on the bench next to him. They thought it was disrespectful that you could actually sit next to him, put your arm around him or whatever, which I kind of get. But then on the other hand, everything that I've read about Walt, stories that I've heard about him, stories that I've heard from people that didn't just meet him, they actually knew him and were friends with him. Visit Marceline and the museum there. You can talk to the same people I talked to. Anyway, he was a genuine guy. He was a real guy. He was an approachable guy. And I like the idea that you can go and sit next to him. It's not that different from the Roy statue over at Magic Kingdom where he's sitting with Minnie on the bench right in Town Square there. Or if you go out to California Adventure at Disneyland, there's a statue there of Walt just off the train in Hollywood, and that you can stand next to and put your arm around and the whole thing. So I don't think it's that different from any of those. But this, it's him sitting there in a casual pose, looking out and dreaming his dream about EPCOT. The experimental prototype city of tomorrow, community of tomorrow. I've heard it both ways. It's not the city that he wanted, but it is the theme park based on that idea and those principles. The New World Celebration area, that whole area has been closed for a couple years now. It's been a while. COVID, I'm sure, slowed things down a little bit, but it's finally open. You could ride the monorail and you could kind of check in on progress, and it never seemed to progress. Now it did enough where most of the walls are down. One of their buildings is still under construction. The Moana Journey of Water inspired by Moana is now open. Wrong place. I think they should have left the buildings that were there and should have left the whole center area more open. It's very nice, but I am going to miss the Fountain of Nations and the more openness of the plaza that was there before. The symmetry that was there before. They took out a lot and then they put some stuff back, and I don't think it quite meets up to what was there before or what they could have done. From there, my friend and I decided to check out some other EPCOT stuff while waiting for the new fireworks show, Luminous.
To the great gathering.
Welcome.
Welcome. Bienvenue. Marhaba.
Yeah, seen some like mixed reviews, which is kind of where I'd put it. That was my first impression. I've only seen it just the one time, but not a bad show if you've never seen it before. Check it out. Decide for yourself. Don't trust me. My opinion is just mine. So anyway, it was a very good day. Had a fun day. Enjoyed celebrating Walt's birthday there at the Magic Kingdom and at EPCOT. So until next time, this has been another Mickey's Roundtable Adventure. Walt, happy birthday.